Awaken, a love story. Season 1, Episode 2, Her Rescuer. A hollow echo wrenched Enrina from her slumber, reminding her of the clamor from the construction site where the crafters worked on the sector's upcoming sanctuary. The sky was still dark through the shades of her windows. The sound was most unusual, being the middle of the night. She yawned, slipped from her bed and padded across the cooling tiles of her domicile. The dual window separated from the balcony which overlooked the glorious scape side of untouched greenery and skies where she remained anonymous and free from any technology that tracked her every whereabouts. How glorious the trees and blooms grew within the untainted minstrel's embrace. To gaze wantonly at the dancing stars beyond the sky was a forbidden secret she relished. To note the occasional falling star, the moons passing one another amid a conjunction of brilliance as it bathed her in soft luminescence. What an enchanted moment when all drifted to silent repose. It was a time when she could breathe and think and dream. "Your door is open!" Halcyon, the disembodied voice of her artificial domicile companion, chimed the moment Enrina slid the windows open. "Thank you for noticing," she said, exasperated for failing to sneak out undetected. Though the Guardian long ago inspired domicile companions for the benefit of the balance, Enrina thought them to be most intrusive, especially while stealing away. If only there was an option to deactivate them. She paused. Such defective thinking disturbs the balance. Enrina sighed. The evening breeze tossed her hair aside, catching her lashes. She tossed it away and stepped forward with a lift of her chin. "It is past the hour." "Yes, it is." Enrina took 4 steps until her toes aligned with the balustrade. She leaned forward with a deep sigh, her palms on the rail. She thought of the clattering that drew her from her slumber. This was scarcely the first time she had heard it this late into the night. She could never attribute its cause, having missed it upon arrival. An upsweep of warm air flung her hair and gown into a rapid toss as she leaned forward. The sudden assault stole her breath, and she blinked against the stinging sensation. When her vision cleared, she slid to her elbows to rest her chin upon laced hands. There was nothing more intriguing than imagining an expedition on the mysterious mountain beyond. The deep shadows and whispering wind within the flora enticed her. What secrets did it hold? What twisting pathways lay hidden? A breath of anticipation buoyed her. What dangers, if at all, lurked within every cleft? The minstrel hushed, and silence buffeted her. All was still and pristine. From the stars to the silent mountain to the inviting oasis of verdant flora far below. The ground-level pathways of the courtyard with its topiary hedges and trees whispered to her pining heart. Her spirit rose with how the night tempered this scape side with tranquility from the harsh glare of the revealing day, downright untainted by those goings-on of her scurrying colleagues with constructive vigor. How lamentable to prevent her from exploring the night to its fullest. Even if she could wander about such beauty while the soul crowned the sky, she nevertheless preferred the stillness of the dark. For that matter, she bore no choice. A curious ache shrouded her. As a founder, the present design demanded her specialized skills to craft a finer way of verbal exchange without the use of rudimentary speech. It proved efficient over the first trials. A shadow dodged behind the lantern spire that lit the vicinity below, snaring her awareness. Her heart tripped, and she straightened as she sucked in a breath. Could that be a resident? Impossible. No one dared break curfew. All domiciles within her sector underwent rigid lockdown procedures. Did the other sectors enforce similar balances? Regardless of the distance, the stark silence would carry her salutation. The temptation to call out came to her, but Enrina knew better. It would alert the monitors, thus earning her a demerit. She pursed her lips against the enticement. To get a better look, she raised to the tips of her toes and leaned upon the railing. She narrowed her eyes and held her whipping hair aside as the sudden zephyr whipped by. The unexpected happened. Her toes failed their grip. She slipped. No! Her surroundings whirled into chaotic shadow as the oasis' tranquil lighting contrasted with her outstretched hands that sought safe purchase despite the locks of hair that blinded her as the hostile force of gravity wrenched her downward. Down became up, and up became down, and all the while she was too stunned to believe she plummeted straight for her death. Enrina had no time to scream. Her head smashed into the balusters with a burst of silvery stars. Her body collided with one solid jolt. Her momentum ceased all at once. Confused from shock and terror, she shrieked at the startling arrest. Her functioning froze, revolting against her better senses to investigate or question the idiosyncrasy of such a brief descent. Wave after wave of alarm, agony and disorientation, her head throbbed where it had struck. Along with the terrifying upheaval, she realized she levitated in the air. It was not until Halcyon welcomed her return that her muddled mind came to a sharp focus despite the throbbing agony. How was this happening? She listened further. Was she still falling? No. It was as though powerful arms braced her body. Was she still conscious? She felt reverberations of footfalls. Footfalls! Every jolt lashed through her aching frame, making her groan. Episode 3, Unexpected Wound, is free on KindleVella. This is Elizabeth Mueller, author of Awaken, a love story, now available on KindleVella, where the first 3 episodes are free. Thank you for joining me.